Hello, 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 and welcome back, you cosmic baddies, to another episode of Chakras and Cuss Words podcast. Today, we are getting fully into and intertwined with the magic of this new upcoming full moon. We have a full moon in Capricorn leading the way in areas of direction and a little bit of responsibility. This is a masculine energy for the most part, as we see the Capricorn is centered around that area of the masculine of the 10th house, but it is actually a feminine energy. And we have two feminine signs opposing each other in the area of duality. We have the Capricorn, which is known for its structure and organization, and also the energy of Cancer, which seems very free-loving, free-moving, and centered around that caring space of nourishing just not the self, but also the childlike presence within us. We're going to talk about how this full moon in Cancer is going to affect us, how we can use this energy of duality to create intentions. This moon is occurring July 10th, 2025 at 4:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is seen as an energy that speaks volume as it stands in 18 degrees of Capricorn. When this moon shines full in the energy of Capricorn, it's standing bold across the area of love, intentions, and softness. It reminds us that we can live in our soft girl era while also being structured, disciplined, and centered on movement. This isn't just a moon, it's a cosmic check-in. It's a sacred spotlight illuminating the tug of two elements, water and earth, the energy between the home and also the energy of the hustle, the roots and the reputation that structures us, the energy of movement, the movement of caring for ourselves while creating a legacy. It is also seen as the movement of our soul and the structure that comes in with creating a life and a life path that seems so driven and also seems so dedicated to the area of nourishment. This full moon calls for us to honor the sacred dance between the Cancer and the Capricorn. It is the element of the witch and also the elder, teaching and allowing one to grow. The Cancer whispers to us to reset, to nourish and return back to our heart space, while the Capricorn remains and also directs in the area of rising and leading and taking full responsibility of our own path. It is our destiny cycle to have an area of accountability. One rules the wound while the other rules the world. Both are necessary and neither one can be ignored. The softness of the Cancer and the drive of the Capricorn. Something within us has been quickly growing, and it's growing and manifesting. And this energy of the moon is enlightening us. It almost feels like we are erupting in our full presence. A spell finally being cast. A movement of growth finally growing upon the roots and out from the soil. The emotions rise to the surface and truths become undeniable that we cannot fear our area of presence. You may feel raw at this time and you may feel a little bit too real, as it is aligned with both the energy of the sacral chakra that the water element of the Cancer brings, but also the energy of the roots. But it is more than just feeling real. It's a revelation of understanding that with every energy of hard work, there still needs to be that polished movement of caring and also being present in your own space. This moon wants you to release what is heavy and what has been holding you back. Also, what is allowing you to feel so drained at times? Are you holding in your emotions and not speaking your truth? Even if your voice shakes, you have to be in the area of resilience and understanding how caring for others only comes when you have truly cared for yourself. And own both your sensitivity and your sovereignty. Let's understand that what no longer really aligns with us will always fall away. It is like the old skin under the starlight and the sun bright, moving, shedding, and leaving us. Let what your roots feel deepen in your strength to allow you to build and to expand. Remember that with every witchy presence, this moon is an emotional area of fertility, especially being aligned with the dominant presence of the solar mass of the sun. While the moon is the illuminating feminine, we also see that area of consistency and movement and strength, and it might feel just a little bit more abundant as Jupiter is so closely aligned with a Jupiter in Cancer during this full moon. We haven't had a full moon aligned with Jupiter in quite some time, so we should definitely use this presence, use this ancestral wisdom, use this soul level of clarity to create intentions that speak to us in volumes and movement. So move with it. This is definitely a moon that you're going to want to dance with. Move those hips, move those strengths, and let your area of growth feel connected to the earth. Ground yourself with the truth and glow into your power of strength, of understanding your divine feminine while building your legacy. While this moon is soft and feminine, as it is structured with the sun in Cancer, it has an area of division, an area of duality, of masculinity, even though it is in a feminine sign. Every July, as the full moon rises high and bright in the warm summer sky, it takes on the name as the buck moon, named for its powerful and majestic deer, whose antlers began to grow anew during this time. We have to remember that with spring comes growth, and as in summer, we sit in our strength. But this area of realm and myth and magic of the buck moon is more than just a name. It's a story and symbol of the sacred initiation that it takes for one to actually evolve. In the ancient areas of wisdom, the buck was more than just an animal, but a guardian, the guardian of the forest, and a creature of intuition, grace, and strength. As the moon is waxed with its full illumination in the center of a full moon, this summer energy is bringing this young buck into an area of growth, from stepping away from the shadows, from moving far away from the woodland realms. The antlers are strong, still velvety soft, reaching the skies just like the strength of the divine. This is more than just a rite of becoming strong and mature. This is the energy that carries the movement. The moment the buck begins his sacred transformation from the wild of being a youth into the wise protector, his antlers tend to move, crowned in a lunar energy, where seen as a symbol of a spiritual growth, the awakening, the movement as one would even see of the crown chakra. They mirrored the tree of life, branching out to the purpose of the skies, touching the cosmos, expanding his intuition and his connection to not just the presence of Earth, but in the energy of the cosmos, the stars, the heavens. Witches, even seekers, cosmic gatherers, people who have harvested this land way before us, believe that during the buck moon, there's a divine masculine that awakens, not in the form of control or domination, but into the area of strength, a quietness of responsibility, understanding the boundaries and the rules of the earth, the sacred action and the movement that takes us from one action to another. It is time when we rise together to shed our old identities, our mature thoughts, and center around the area of growth, stepping into our evolving power and strengths that our mature mind and higher self allows us to adapt to. Our crown chakra is enlightened. Our strengths of our feet are driven down into the roots of the ground, but we see all the possibilities that the sky can bring. Some say that if you walk in the woods under the buck moon, you might catch a glimpse of a spirit of the old stag, a spirit guide who appears only when you are ready to claim your path. He carries messages from the ancestors and reminds you, you are not made to stay small. You are meant to grow and lead. Just like your soul, your antlers will grow to the depths of the heavens. This is a time for us to practice not just our maturity and our area of strength and boundaries, but also our area of our spiritual presence, the energy of what the soul is driven to, and the movement around us. There is definitely a sacred duality in this practices, and there's many rituals that we can do that honor the movement of the buck, the energy of the Capricorn, and the beautiful peace of the Cancer. But before I share any rituals or spells, let me tell you about a few stories. A long time ago, in the time when animals and humans even spoke the same language, the earth was out of balance. People had become hard, cold-hearted, and even greedy. During these times, the warriors of tribes only honored by force, and they were scared in ways of staying soft in the energy of the realms of the earth. The creators grew worried, for the people had lost their connection to the spirit. So the creator sent a messenger, a great buck, crowned with huge antlers, with his eyes as deep as the stars. The buck did not fight with teeth or claws, but instead he walked softly and listened deeply. Whenever he stepped, the land healed. It had a vibration, it shook, and the rivers were quiet. The birds would sing. The warriors mocked him at first, as they were driven only on power and what strengths they saw off a monetary gain. They often laughed and said, "What powers does a deer have? What energy of strengths could possibly be behind this buck?" They laughed. Then they saw something that they didn't expect. The buck stood without fear in front of them, looking at them, looking past, around them, almost looking into their souls. The children slowly began to follow the buck, learning the rhythm of the forest, the way the wind blew, and seeing the stillness in the wisdom of the earth. The warriors began to weep at night, not knowing what had happened, realizing that their strength was hidden by an energy of softness, for they were scared. They had seen the movement of greed, and they knew that softness would slowly come into tides, overcompensating them. It's said that under the buck moon, the spirit of the deer walks again. His antlers reach towards the great spirits, while his hooves stay rooted in the mother's earth. He reminds us that the strongest warriors are not those who destroy, but those who protect. The children fell to him so quickly. They followed the young buck. To this day, many indigenous teachings of the native deer, and especially the young buck, represents the bridge between the two worlds, the earth and the sky. the area of roots and the heavens, the softness and the strength, the rise of spiritual maturity, understanding that his antlers only grow because he has become aware of his presence, aware of his power. This is the reminder to walk with humanity, to walk with kindness. For the energy of being humble is a strength that so many let go of. Even when we grow in our power and our movement, the energy of the buck moon reflects and inspires us. What kind of warrior will I become? How can I stand in my truth without harming others? How can I lead with both strength and softness, allowing ourselves to be strong and allowing ourselves to be caring? When the full moon in Capricorn rises on July 10th, there is something that will feel very emotional and very strong. It is because of Jupiter. Jupiter is with Cancer, and it adds a whole new layer of magic, expansion, and divine nourishment. It's definitely an area of awakening. The full moon in Capricorn wants us to build. She's cool, she's collective, she's wise, and she's deeply focused on the legacy and structure and responsibility. She teaches us that our own path is to reclaim time, to create boundaries that protect our energy. This is definitely the moon that we're going to want to protect our energy. But to be in the center of the Jupiter in Cancer as a powerful energy, for Jupiter is exhalated in this placement, meaning that Jupiter loves being here, and we should see how much we love being here. Jupiter is a great benefit. It is almost like the cosmic energy of blessings, expansion, and higher wisdom, with the energy of spiritual protections. Cancer is the sign of the moon, so we feel so sacred in our sacred womb space, our divine feminine, our energy of home and family and nourishment. That deeply brings us a little bit closer to our ancestral roots, the energy of the buck, the energy of our own awareness. The emotional abundance and ancestral blessings that this energy brings, we should see it as fuel, allowing our heart to have areas of openness. As we receive intuitive downloads, some of us may even cry, unknowingly that our area is being twisted into a new center of passion. Especially if you have had movements around childhood friends, the home, or the inner mother, you might find that these intuitive downloads are coming just a little bit stronger. Expect ancestral healing, generational trauma to be released, or to even come back up. So use your awareness, your maturity, to not only dream your new presence, but also see how the spirit guides can lead you. Blessing yourself through your home, family, and spiritual roots, allow this powerful moon to manifest around things that nourish you and the area of family and strength. The home, the property, cleansing the area of the home, cleansing the area of the woman's womb, seeing the area of fertility, family healing, and emotional healing work. The mother and the child relationships might have to come up to the surface, where things could be talked about instead of shunned away. Create a safe space in areas of creation and also energy of physical and also soul-connected energetic exchanges. If you've been wanting to expand your sense into the area of safety and spiritual protection, this is a moon to do so. Definitely cleanse your home, set intentions, and ask your guides to open your gates into the area of opening your heart, building sacred foundations. Let's look at some of the rituals that we can do. Of course, candle lighting always seems like a ritual that should occur with every full moon. A candle ritual for boundaries and expansion. For this moon, light 2 candles, one for the energy of Capricorn. It should feel earthly or grounding. You can use and incorporate areas of the earth, such as roses, leaves, or so on. And one for the Cancer, the emotional, intuitive structure that we have, the area of softness, and the energy of the sacral. Write down what it is that you're building, or what is it that you're healing from. Let them burn side by side, but do not tie them. Just allow them to burn together. You could even put the Cancer candle around water if you like, symbolizing the balance of structure and also the energy of softness. If you would like to release on this moon, this would actually be a moon that would be very comforting in releasing. What you could do is you can release the area of imbalances or the energy of shadow. Write down what you are releasing, as it does resemble the area of the moon. It could be emotional codependency, maybe areas of coping skills, energies that you want to avoid. Also, it could be seen as how you've been feeling around change and adaptability. And write down what it is. Fold it away from you at least 3 times. You can also write down areas of emotional imbalances, such as feeling overworked, emotional suppression, rigged expectations, also feeling centered at your boundaries, being pushed to the ultimate max. See how the energy of both the Capricorn and the Cancer plays into the movement of release. And after you fold these energies away from you, you're going to either burn them or bury them under the full moon. Also, you're then going to want to write down one way you'll honor your emotional body, the Cancer, that emotional feminine presence. You'll say how you will honor this energy and also give it a physical presence. Talk about the areas of goals and the energy of steps that you'll be taking the next month to improve and move past whatever it is that you are releasing from. When you release something, you are going to want to create intentions. You can say things such as affirmations like, I am rooted in love, I rise with strength, and I balance the soul and climb as above and as so below. Understanding that there's 2 energies. See your strengths of how the ocean brings the waves to the earth. And while you release that energy, also acknowledge that you are strong, because this moon is really for creating intentions. Another ritual would be to look at your leadership, to look at your energy of dominance. The Capricorn is seen as something that is goal-driven. It is centered off of activation. You want your roots to be strong, just like the energy of a mountain or a tree. And how to do that is to have discipline, strategy. This is what will survive over the long time presence. You can use a ritual such as this, centered around your strength and legacy. Use this ritual to build structure and reclaim your area of leadership. Stand barefoot on the earth or stone, or even grass. Write down one major life goal. You could put it on a piece of paper. You could put it on a leaf. If you would like, you could even create a sigil or a design from your intention. Draw it in the earth or carve it into a candle. Meditate in that grounding space. You can use crystals, you can use smoky quartz, you can use black tourmaline, you can use anything that feels very centered around strength. If you feel like colors such as blue, black honor strength, use those colors. You're going to want to see yourself evolving over time as you are standing either over or with your intentions. You can also include chants such as, I honor the time it takes. I build with purpose. I lead with integrity. Also, you're going to want to tap into not just the energy of your roots becoming stronger, but also the energy of your mind. You're going to see how while the roots are present, the mind needs to strengthen. And a lot of it is mindset. The mind and the crown chakra acknowledging what it is that the roots are speaking to. If you are ready to awaken your area of maturity and see your strength as the movement, you're going to want to get either a black or red candle for power, passion, or control, a mirror to symbolize the energy of reflection and authority. You can use anything like a meditative scent such as dragon's blood or dragon's blood ink or even a red pin. But you're going to want to have some type of aroma and also color of red so your passion and your authority stand strong. You're also going to want to use something that feels destined to the energy of power. Whatever that is that you hold, it could be a tarot card, it could be a stone, it could be a family heirloom, something that feels very strong to you. You can either use it, hold it, or you could draw something. You want to look at using herbs such as a bay leaf, rosemary, and cinnamon. These represent energies of confidence, influence, and strength. It is also optional to include crystals. If you do, I would use a black tourmaline, a garnet, or something centered around the solar plexus chakra. You're going to want to set your sacred space. Definitely cleanse it before you do this. And you're also going to want to create a circle where the mirror is with either cinnamon or salt for protection. You're going to light your candle and you're going to stand in front of your mirror. You might want to put your wrist with some type of cinnamon oil or some type of frankincense oil or some type of energy around your wrist and also around the energy of the third eye chakra. Even seeing the energy of the crown chakra getting centered around being strong and focused towards the stars and also focused towards the movement of an outer place. On a paper, you're going to write whatever it is that you are being centered with. So, for instance, I am the one they feel before I enter the room. My presence is strong. My presence commands respect. I am mature. I am stoic. My voice seals my fates. And during these times, you are going to want to look at yourself in the mirror as you are saying these affirmations. Look into your eyes. You're also going to want to, if you would like to burn your bay leaf with your intention, if it is dominance, control, legacy, whatever. Let the ashes fall into a dish. You can even use some cinnamon to sprinkle it up on the ashes. If you would like to create a dominant spell, meaning somebody has been giving you a hard time, you can use a bay leaf, write their name, and put it in your shoe for about a day and walk on their name. You're also going to want to be centered around the area of maturity. Understand that when you are dominant, when you are structured, that it comes with great power. If you are going to be a leader, you have to lead people with respect and also with cognition. You're going to understand that your strengths are as powerful as you, and that you are as caring, even as strong as you are. Don't take this energy for granted. Don't use this energy against people. Don't use this area of thinking that you are better than anybody. Use this energy to create your own maturity and strength and confidence within you. Whatever spell you create, make sure that you understand that you're letting go of the ego and living in the higher self. When you create towards energy around dominance, use it as a significant respect to not just yourself, but the people around you. Let's get into a reading for this full moon in Capricorn. Since we are nestled in the energy of Cancer season, I will be using 2 decks that are centered off the divine. One will be the Tarot of the Divine. It is a deck that is centered off of a lot of deities and folklore and fairy tales from around the world. I love this deck. It's so beautifully illustrated. And then also the Divine Feminine Oracle. So I will be pulling 2 cards for each sign of being either a fire element, water element, so on, so on. We'll be going into the normal rotation. So we'll be first starting off with the fire signs. If you are a fire sign, that means that you are a Sagittarius or an Aries or a Leo. I definitely see that you are in center of clarity right now. You're very driven, and also we see this movement of where I feel like you're sitting quite nice with your area of dominance and also your area of strength. I definitely feel that Capricorn energy pulling through, and I see that you're also very strong right now, and you're very guided by the divine. I feel like something beautiful is going to happen in the energy of purpose, decision makings, and even centered around new voyages. So I see a lot of energy around the heart chakra, also the root chakra, and of course around the energy of moving forward in your intentions. When we are looking about being a little bit more centered around abundance, I feel like this is a very good card for you. I also picked the card, the Goddess of Abundance, which is Lakshmi, and it's about feeling and choosing the area of being abundant. It's about finding the area of wealth, also inside you, the energy of movement inside you. I would definitely work on the responsibilities and being a little bit more, I guess you could say, centered around moving forward. Don't second guess yourself. You're in the right direction. For the water signs, if you are a water sign, you are a Cancer, you are a Pisces, or you are a Scorpio. For the water signs, I will tell you that I feel that there is somebody around you, somebody moving in energies that maybe aren't as beneficial as we would like to think. There could be some lies, there could be some challenging times right now, and also there is an energy where you have to protect yourself. I would work on protection magic. I would also work on confidence magic at this time, and I would work at seeing and also believing your own intuition. We have to remember that sometimes our friends aren't necessarily our friends. Sometimes our lovers aren't really our lovers. They have an energy of jealousy. They even have an energy of shadow. Some people will hate our light. Some people will hate everything that we have worked so hard for. And that's okay. As long as we are centered around protecting our own strengths, protecting our own energy, and using that wisdom, using that passion to remain the leader, to remain who we are. We have to remember that people with magnetic auras, people who are seen as healers, empaths, sometimes do attract people who want to feed off of our energy. And we can't allow that. We cannot submit ourselves to being centered around individuals who don't own us and don't provide for us and don't share the same dreams that we share and don't share the same movement that we share and don't allow us to be who we are. So protect your energy, protect your strengths, protect who you are, protect that you are free from whatever lies, whatever tensions that have been driven. I would look at protection magic and also confidence magic. We have to remember that we are the goddess of the internal flame. We are centered around the energy of I am an internal flame. I am the strength. I am the solar plex. I am the center that is moving in having a light that is bright. And sometimes when we are so bright, motherfuckers want to hold us back. And these assholes, these bitches, whatever it is that you want to call them, these traitors, these ex-friends, these frenemies, want to see us dim our light. We will not dim our light for them. Absolutely fucking not. We will not dim our light for them. So lick your wounds, care for yourself, and get centered in where it is that you need to be to protect your energy, because you're going to keep fucking shining. For the earth signs, if you are an earth sign, that means that you are a Capricorn. You are also a Virgo and a Taurus. So the card that I have for you is centered off of the energy of moving past whatever it is that has traumatized you, that has hurt you, the old skeletons, the old secrets, the old energies, the old shadow state, the old energy of being stuck. When we are centered around moving past that energy of shadow, we have to remember that these obstacles built us up. Even though they were hard, even though they were centered off movement that felt tough, we have a flame in us, and we also have a passion in us. So I would be centered around, if I was an earth sign, if I was a Capricorn, if I was a Taurus, or if I was a Virgo, I would be centered around the house, understanding the ancestral wounds that come with the energy of the home, that come with the patterns, that come with the trauma from what we have learned from our wounds, what we have learned from our mothers, what we have learned from our fathers, what we have learned from the energy of the home, the roots of the home, clearing the energy of the roots, clearing the energy of home trauma, clearing the generational trauma, and breaking those curses. Understanding that not everybody in our home life, not everybody in our family circle allowed to be there. We're also going to want to look at the self-care that blends into this moon. Understanding that if we've been fucking fatigued, if we've been tired, it's time to let us heal. It's time to let us care for ourselves. And if that means closing out some fucking people, if that means closing out some inner circles, that's what we're going to have to fucking do. We're going to have to close out those inner circles. We're going to have to understand that our areas of gathering and strength comes from us, comes from the movement of us, not allowing ourselves to be stuck into the fixed energies that have hold not just us behind, but also the energies of our generational traumas. Not allowing that energy to relight, not allowing that energy to resurface. Also, we are centered around Shekinah, which is the presence of the divine feminine, a center of everything. There is light, and I am that light. So acknowledging that you are that light, even though people try to hold us and use us in ways that feel overly exerted or feel overly structured. For the next zodiacs, we have the air signs. If you are an Aquarius, if you are a Libra, if you are a Gemini, this is for you. This is a time for you to make those intentions around your area of movement and strength and power. You're seeing how fucking powerful you are. I feel like a lot of you are seeing how powerful you are. And when we are powerful and when we are centered around our areas of joy, happiness, and movement, we see that sometimes there could be an unexpected center. We could have the energy of destiny and cycles kind of repeating itself. So we are going to be centered around the movement of not just us, but also the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra as well. We are going to understand that certain things that have come as misfortunes just are elements of what makes the world go round. And while we see this area of karma, this energy of karmic ties, this energy of movement and destiny, we have to understand that every lesson we have in this world, every movement that we have in this world, even if it's been around the past that has been felt really disappointing, or has felt really unsettling, that we continue to move. We continue to see the joy in this. I would definitely be working on confidence. I would also be working on spells that are centered around the energy of dominance. And I would also be centered around the energy of moving forward in the divine passion of self and the self-recognition, understanding your own strengths, your own desires. Sometimes you don't desire the same thing twice. You desire it only once. After you've succeeded, you move on. We understand that we radiate in dominance and we command respect because we deserve it, because we're centered around that energy of power and influence. So I would be working with the areas of the solar plex and the sacral chakra if you are an air sign, with not just the energy of the root and the crown, but also with those energies as well. For the air signs in the energy of the divine feminine, the card is La, and it's the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer or a spell. So a prayer, a wish. I am the one. I am the author of my own story. And this is, in all honesty, what the tarot card resembles to. It's the wheel of fortune or fortune. And when we are centered around the energy of controlling our own destiny, allowing the requirements, allowing the boundaries, allowing the energy to feed back into our personal space, to feed back into our structure, it allows an energy of control and design. We are the ones to design our own pathways. We are the ones who design our own makeup. We are the ones who design the energy of what it is that we are going to be doing, not just now, not just here and now, but in the years to come. We're designing the pathways for the years to come. So take that as the energy that is moving around us with this full moon in Capricorn. So I want to thank everybody for checking out this podcast, for listening to this podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you are going to be spending this full moon in Capricorn. What areas of legacy do you plan on working on? What areas of passion do you plan on working on? What areas of self-care do you plan on working on? Please give me a like and a follow if you are not subscribed to the channel. Also a rating. Go ahead and hit me with 5 stars. Why 5? Because 5 is better than 2. And everybody have an amazing day. Bye. Don't forget to share it with your witchy bestie.